The Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa, Section 197. I sorely grieve over time's passage. It's always with exaggerated emotion that I leave something behind, whatever it may be. The miserable rented room where I lived for a few months, the dinner table at the provincial hotel where I stayed for 6 days, even the sad waiting room at the station, where I spent 2 hours waiting for a train. Yes, their loss grieves me. But the special things of life, when I leave them behind and realize with all of my nerve sensibility that I'll never see or have them again, at least not in that exact same moment, grieve me metaphysically. A chasm opens up in my soul, and a cold breeze of the hour of God blows across my pallid face. Time, the past, something, a voice, a song, a chance fragrance lifts the curtain on my soul's memories, that which I was and will never again be. That which I had and will never again have. The dead who loved me in my childhood. Whenever I remember them, my whole soul shivers, and I feel exiled from all hearts, alone in the night of myself, weeping like a beggar before the closed silence of all doors. Section 198. Holiday Notes. The small cove with its small beach, cut off from the world by 2 miniature promontories, was my retreat from myself during those 3 days of holiday. The beach was reached by a crudely built stairway that began with wooden steps at the top and continued halfway down, with steps cut directly into the rock, with a rusty iron handrail for support. And each time I went down that old stairway, and especially on the part made of stone, I stepped out of my own existence and found myself. Occultists say, or at least some of them do, that the soul has supreme moments when it recalls, with the emotions or with some part of memory, a moment or an aspect or a shadow from a previous incarnation. And since the soul returns to a time that is closer than the present to the beginning and origin of things, it experiences a sensation of childhood and of liberation. In descending that now little used stairway and slowly stepping out onto the forever deserted beach, it was as if I were using some magical technique to find myself nearer the monad that I perhaps am. Certain aspects and characteristics of my daily existence, represented in my normal self by desires, aversions, worries, vanished from me like fugitives from the law, fading into the shadows beyond recognition, and I attained a state of inward distance in which it was hard to remember yesterday, or to believe that the self who lives in me day after day really belongs to me. My usual emotions, my regularly irregular habits, my conversations with others, my adaptations to the world's social order, all of this seemed like things I'd read somewhere, like inert pages of a published biography, or details from some novel in one of the middle chapters we read while thinking about something else. And the storyline slackens until it finally slithers away on the ground. There on the beach, with no sound but that of the ocean waves and of the wind passing high overhead, like a large invisible airplane, I experienced dreams of a new sort, soft and shapeless things, marvels that made a deep impression without images or emotions, clear like the sky and the water, and reverberating like the white whirls of ocean, rising up from the depths of a vast truth. A tremulously slanting blue in the distance that acquired glistening, muddy green hues as it approached, breaking with a great hissing its 1,000 crashing arms to scatter them over darkish sand where they left dry foam, and then gathered into itself, all undertows, all return journeys to that original freedom, all nostalgias for God, all memories like this one, shapeless and painless, of a prior state, blissful because it was so good or because it was different. A body made of nostalgia, with a soul of foam, repose, death, the everything or the nothingness which, like a huge ocean, surrounds the island of castaways that is life. And I slept without sleeping, already straying from what I'd seen through my feelings, a twilight of myself, a ripple of water among trees, the peace of wide rivers, the coolness of sad evenings, the slow panting in the white breast of the childhood sleep of contemplation. Section 199. The sweetness of having neither family nor companions, that pleasant taste as of exile, in which the pride of the expatriate subdues with a strange sensuality our vague anxiety about being far from home. All of this I enjoy, in my own way, indifferently, because one of the tenets of my mental attitude is that our attention to what we feel shouldn't be unduly cultivated, and even dreams should be regarded with condescension, with an aristocratic awareness that they couldn't exist without us. To give too much importance to a dream would be to give too much importance to something which, after all, broke away from us and set itself up as reality, at least as far as it could, thereby losing its right to special treatment from us. Section 200. Commonness is a hearthstone. Banality is a mother's lap. After a long incursion into lofty poetry, up to the heights of sublime yearning, to the cliffs of the transcendent and the occult, it tastes better than good. It feels like all that is warm in life. To return to the inn with its happily laughing fools, and to drink with them as one more fool, as God made us, content with the universe we were given, and leaving the rest to those who climb mountains to do nothing at the top. I'm not impressed should someone tell me that a certain man I consider crazy or stupid surpasses a common man in many achievements and particulars of life. Epileptics have amazing strength when they go into seizure. Paranoics have an ability to reason that few normal men can match. Religious maniacs bring multitudes of believers together as few, if any, demagogues can, and with a force of conviction that the latter can't inspire in their followers. And all this proves is that craziness is craziness. I prefer defeat that knows the beauty of flowers to a victory in the desert, full of blindness in the soul, alone with its isolated nothingness. How often even my futile dreaming makes me loathe my inner life and feel physically nauseated by mysticisms and contemplations, how quickly I then race from my apartment, where I dream, to the office. And when I see the face of Moreira, it's as if I had finally docked at a port. When all is said and done, I prefer Moreira to the astral world. I prefer reality to truth. I prefer life, yes, to the very God who created it. Since this is the life he gave me, this is the life I'll live. I dream because I dream, but I don't suffer the indignity of considering my dreams anything more than my personal theater. Even as I don't consider wine, though I enjoy drinking it, to be a source of nourishment or a vital necessity.